Mic up. Copy that. Copy, copy, copy. High-speed pursuit in the San Fernando Valley coming up on Sherman Way, northbound Independence Avenue, LAPD, right behind the silver sedan, crossing over the double yellow lines into oncoming lanes of traffic. This was a high-speed pursuit, was on surface streets, eventually onto the 101 freeway, got off at Winnetka, and now traveling northbound just past Sherman Way at a high rate of speed, a very empty Independence here as LAPD continues this pursuit at 90 miles per hour over the median here. Light traffic as we make our way through Canoga Park, coming around traffic here up at the red light, making a right turn. Wild turns throughout this pursuit, fishtailing across all lanes. At one point just moments ago, there was a spike strip attempt that failed. He was able to navigate around that spike strip and is continuing at a high rate of speed here in Canoga Park. LAPD with their airship right overhead. That silver sedan, heavily tinted, wanted for a possible DUI driver behind the wheel here as that primary unit continues right on his tail in hot pursuit on a Monday night here in the San Fernando Valley. Coming up, oh, close call there. Coming around there, making a screwy Yui, and now going the opposite direction. We'll go ahead and put up our locator there, Josh. Copy that. That's going to be Baldwin, maybe. Crossing over the median here, passing traffic, doing upwards of 80 to 90 miles per hour here. Yep, copy that. Thank you. Red light. Coming up on a red light. Coming up on a major intersection. This is going to be, just turn green there. He's going to go through it or make the right. Oh, hinting at a turn there, continuing straight through DeSoto. Confirming northbound DeSoto. Another major intersection coming up here. Lots of traffic at this one. Oh, into oncoming lanes of traffic, threading the needle. There are cars in the oncoming lanes there at that intersection, crossing back over the median. This guy is hauling at a high rate of speed here. You can see he's straddling that double yellow line there at speeds in excess of 80 to 90 miles per hour. A little more traffic here on DeSoto, northbound DeSoto, through Canoga Park. And these intersections are really getting scary because he is not even showing signs of braking as he approaches some of these red lights here. Continuing up DeSoto, coming up on Osborne now. LAPD still managing to keep up with the suspect. A primary unit, secondary unit right in tow there. That airship has the night sun on him as he continues this joyride through the San Fernando Valley, making his way into Chatsworth now. Northbound DeSoto at Dearborn Street, continuing through these lights here and continuing to straddle those double yellow lines with no hesitation, jumping into the oncoming lanes of traffic, even with cars coming right at him in his direction. That looks like it might be, can you make out the model there? It could be an older model Lexus maybe, or perhaps, I can't quite see there. Looks like he might have that driver's side window cracked open slightly. It looks like an older model Lexus. Continuing northbound DeSoto. Thank you. Making a right turn here. It's going to be eastbound. You took it off completely? Okay, copy that. Back on the wrong side of the road. Going the wrong way. LAPD still in pursuit here as he's made a southbound turn. Southbound Mason. Southbound Mason coming up on Plummer Street. Copy that. Getting word now that they are not going to pit the suspect as they have reports of a handgun inside the vehicle. Driver believed to be armed with a handgun, and that will preclude them from authorizing that pit maneuver. So they're going to keep up with him as long as they can here. They will not pit him. They will spike him if they can. They've already shown signs of spiking him, but right now a pit maneuver appears to be off the table. Unknown how many people are inside this car. The driver possibly under the influence. Weaving around traffic here through a red light, making a left turn. That's going to be eastbound Nordhoff. Okay, copy that. Eastbound Nordhoff at Winnetka, making a turn, northbound Winnetka now. Or south, I'm sorry, westbound, sorry. My bad, Chris. Thank you. Suspect weaving through a residential neighborhood here in Winnetka, LAPD, maintaining a pretty close distance behind him here with a full pursuit package, that primary unit, a secondary unit, and a backup unit, all lined up behind him as he continues to blow through stop signs, barely braking at many of these intersections and starting to just kind of twist his way through this neighborhood. We're at Delco and Rodak Street in Winnetka, flying over these speed bumps here. LAPD still able to keep up with him as he makes these random turns, another right turn there, around traffic as they go, and you can see him now on Mason Avenue and coming up on Chase. Back on the wrong side.
Good evening, everybody. Mark Brown and Chris, you are with us now on abc7.com and all our streaming platforms, watching a really dangerous pursuit unfolding in the West San Fernando Valley. They're in the Chatsworth area now. You have been describing this, Chris Christie, as speeds upwards of 90 miles an hour on surface streets, crossing through intersections, blowing through red lights, going the opposite way on the street, weaving through traffic, and putting a lot of people in harm's way. And you've got the additional aspect now of a handgun in the vehicle. Chris, bring us up to date, up to speed.
Mark, yeah, a lot of split-second decision-making behind the wheel of this silver, older model Lexus, consistently finding himself on the wrong side of the road, head-to-head with other motorists who are traversing the San Fernando Valley tonight. It has been a night full of close calls over the last 20 minutes or so. He has been flying through the San Fernando Valley, ended up on the 101 freeway for a short time, and then got off in Woodland Hills and has made his way all the way up to Chatsworth now, where he is weaving all over the place. We've seen him kind of twist his way through a residential neighborhood to make his way back over to Mason Avenue, which he has been on before. LAPD has been in and out of pursuit mode. They have already tried one spike strip, I should say, earlier on. It was a failed spike, but they will not pit him because, as you mentioned, they now believe he is armed with a handgun. There is a loaded gun inside the vehicle, to their knowledge, and also they believe the suspect is driving under the influence. So a deadly combination of elements that they are dealing with. Certainly something they are not going to play around with. They are going to treat this very, very delicately as he makes his way down Devonshire at a high rate of speed here. He has been consistently doing speeds in excess of 70 to 80 miles per hour almost triple-digit speeds at one point on the wrong side of the road. So really fishtailing through these intersections, now going back on DeSoto Avenue off of Devonshire, but a high-speed turn. We've seen him almost lose control here on a number of occasions, barely braking at some of these intersections. LAPD doing a remarkable job of keeping up with him under the circumstances. But as I mentioned, they have put this in tracking mode occasionally. Just moments ago, they have now re-engaged. They are in pursuit mode. LAPD with 3 units right behind him. The airship right overhead with the night sun squarely on that silver sedan. We do not know, Mark, how many people are inside the vehicle.
Yeah, and here he is going on the left side of the road, trying to avoid traffic, and of course putting him in a course to go head on with oncoming traffic. I wonder if they're continuing the pursuit because, as you mentioned, you know, they've been on and off of tracking mode. But when you have somebody who you believe is armed and who's under the influence, and you go into tracking mode and he foot bails, now he's in a neighborhood on the run from police with a weapon, and maybe that's what they're trying to avoid here as well.
Exactly. Aside from whatever intelligence they may be dealing with, the fact that he is armed with a gun inside that vehicle and obviously refusing to pull over, not only refusing to pull over, but really willing to put so many lives in danger here at these crazy speeds, that is what contributes to them. To their decision to maybe back off occasionally once it gets too dangerous where they have a hard time following it. But if they can keep up with him, if they can safely pursue him, they will continue to because of the risk factors involved here, aside from, again, whatever other intel they may be aware of. We, again, don't know if there's a child inside the vehicle, what other crimes have been associated with this driver. We just don't have that information, but he is obviously desperate to get away from the LAPD tonight, and he is putting so many lives in danger as he does so at each and every turn. We have seen him come within inches of other cars over and over again here without any hesitation to just stay in his lane here. He sees any traffic in front of him, he instantly crosses over those double yellow lines and has come head-to-head with a number of other drivers, but has not collided with any of them as far as we can tell. Look at this, high speed through another intersection here. That's going to be Roscoe Boulevard. You can see LAPD with several black and whites at that intersection, so they may be trying for another spike strip here if they have the opportunity. They appear to be able to set up ahead of him here. They may be willing to, or they may be getting ready to hand this off to a separate set of units, but right now I believe that original pursuing officer is still the primary unit here as he continues down DeSoto Avenue here in Canoga Park, Mark.
Yeah, and the speeds are troubling. The maneuvers he is undertaking are troubling. He's putting a lot of people at risk here. But it does seem that he is kind of circling an area of the West Valley, a pretty wide swath of the West Valley, but it's kind of this one particular area. Like, he's not necessarily trying to get anywhere. He's just trying to get away from police, but he's driving at high speeds and kind of doing big circles here as he goes again. He's back in Winnetka, Satakoy, and Irondale. He's been in Winnetka, Canoga Park, Woodland Hills. The CHP, as you mentioned, was on this for a time after he got on the freeway. He was on the 101 freeway for a while. That would have been a far better situation because there'd be no cross traffic. Here he's got cross traffic every quarter mile or so, and with it comes the danger of a collision. Every single time he blows through one of those red lights, puts us in danger, puts him in danger and the public in danger of a collision. We don't know. That's a pretty clear shot you're getting of the driver there. The windows appear to be slightly tinted. No, maybe not. I don't know if they're tinted. The rear window might be, but the driving is erratic. There is believed to be a weapon in the car. We don't know if there are other people in the car, but the fact that the assumption and the belief, the suspicion that there is a weapon in the car means they're not going to do a pit maneuver. They don't want an officer to get that close and put their lives in danger to actually put a pit maneuver on this vehicle. It's an older model, looks like a Lexus sedan, and it's it's got some get up and go. It's a mid-2000s Lexus ES300 is what I'm being told by one of our directors here.
Almost losing control. Here he goes, spinning out into the other side of the Satakoy Street there, coming out the other side, almost into that power pole, and has now lost control, now head-to-head with these LAPD units. Effectively, what would have happened in a pit maneuver is now what they are dealing with, an armed suspect, now face-to-face with these officers, smoke coming out from under the hood here after he lost control, swerved across the double yellow lines, and is now, again, as I mentioned, head-to-head with those officers. You can see the windshield wipers have been activated. The driver now moving around inside the vehicle. Again, this is a driver who is under the influence, believed to be armed, very unpredictable, and has put so many lives in danger. They now have split-second decisions of their own to make as he now hopefully complies with their commands.
All right,
we will see if he cooperates here, Mark.
We're seeing two hands now up, left and right hands, both reaching out of the driver's side window. This is an encouraging sign. You can zoom in there. It appears he's
right. He's showing signs of giving up here. As long as they can see his hands, they will have him probably just open up that door very slowly. They will give him very specific instructions. But as long as they can see his hands, he will be okay. He will end up in jail, but he will be okay. If not, this could get ugly. This is just a really nerve-wracking situation for everybody involved, and now they have come head-to-head with this suspect after he showed so many signs of losing control. At the end there, he really had mediocre control of that car at best, and with those split-second decisions that he was trying to make there, kind of a lot of head fakes as he came up on different intersections, showing signs of making turns. Eventually, though, continuing down Satakoy, now an arrest team approaching the vehicle. He is now communicating with those officers. They are going to approach him instead of him exiting the vehicle, and it looks like his hands are still visible, and he is willing to cooperate.
All right, well, that is all very good news. What we're watching unfold here live right now at the corner of Satakoy and Corbin Avenue in Reseda. LAPD responding after they've been chasing this guy for a good 45 minutes or so, perhaps longer. They're going to use a knife here or something to cut the seatbelt. They're going to get him out of the car. He may be hurt. That may be what he's been telling them. He may have been injured in the accident, and they're going to get him out. But you saw, this is unusual. I don't think I've seen this very often, where they will actually come out on a suspect that they believe is armed with a shield and with a bunch of officers, basically an arrest team, to go get him. And that's an unusual thing that we're watching here.
Yeah, now we are hearing that he is stuck to some degree, whether it was just a matter of getting the seatbelt undone or whatever the case may be. But we should explain why they are so hesitant to execute a pit maneuver in situations like this. Because ultimately what a pit maneuver is designed to do is to spin the vehicle in a 180-degree fashion so that you end up face-to-face with that suspect and able to take him into custody. If you know he is armed, you don't knowingly want to put yourself in that position. Those officers are then in a much more precarious position if they have a gunman, facing them at the end of the pursuit. Again, not knowing what else is going on inside the vehicle. There are just too many unknowns that they don't want to do that. They don't want to take that risk. But this was essentially what would have happened in a pit maneuver. He ended up spinning out on his own, and they were able to send that arrest team immediately up there. They didn't waste any time. They didn't even wait for a canine, which would often be the first option. You just kind of wait for the canine officer to come out and maybe bark some orders at him and see if he complies. But he was very cooperative from the beginning. The minute he stopped, he put his hands out the window, and that really expedited this safe resolution and ultimately his arrest here. So the fact that he put his hands out the window is really what made this such a peaceful ending, despite the fact that this was a fairly violent collision and easily could have gotten somebody hurt had there been anybody on the other side of Satakoy. This could have been a much more dangerous situation.
Yeah, he was moving pretty fast when all this happened. And you're right, he could have really, because he lost control, somebody really could have gotten badly hurt. Here's another look at it right here. Spun out all on his own. We should point out it's a front-wheel drive vehicle. This is not a sports car. This was a sedan in the mid-2000s that was not built for carving, twisty roads. It was built to carry people from point A to point B. So it was front-wheel drive, which means the rear may cut loose, and that's what happens here. That's what happened here. The rear of the car lost traction with the road and the result was the fishtail and then the spin out that we saw, which could have ended much worse. Luckily, it appears even the suspect is not that badly hurt, if at all. He's been taken into custody. We assume he'll be taken to be checked out at a nearby hospital. No officers were hurt. As far as we know, no accidents have happened during the course of this pursuit. So it ended about as well as it could have given the circumstances, although that car is likely totaled and there's some damage to that city street light. But that is the result of it. That is the size of it here in Reseda, I believe, is where this all ended up. Chris Christie in Air 7, thank you for your reporting. And that is it for us here right now. We'll be back on Eyewitness News tonight at 11 o'clock.